Book of Heaven, Volume 28, September 20th, 1930. Bitternesses, the slow poison of good, the divine will, cradle of the soul. Jesus, divine administrator of his most holy will. I was feeling all immersed in the divine fiat. Its light dazzles my intellect, and while it absorbs me into its light, it makes me follow its acts that it did in creation. But while I was doing this, I felt such bitterness and oppression as to make me struggle in doing my acts in the divine will. And my sweet Jesus, having compassion for me, told me,
"My daughter, how much pity I feel for your bitterness. I feel it being poured into my heart. Therefore, courage. Don't you know that oppressions, bitternesses, are the slow poison of good, which produces such hardship as to reduce the soul to an extreme agony, in such a way that she feels agony in the heart, and my love agonizes in her heart. She feels agony on the lips, and my prayer agonizes. She feels agony in the hands, in the steps, and my steps and my works feel themselves agonizing. More so since, in the creature who wants to have my divine will as life, my will being one with hers, I feel her agony poured into my divine person. Therefore, courage, abandon yourself into my arms, and I will make more light, more refulgent, arise from my divine will, and as it takes the form of cradle, I will rock you in it to communicate to you my divine rest. And with its light and with its heat, it will destroy the slow poison of your bitternesses, changing them into sweetnesses and into fount of contentments. And resting in the cradle of my divine will, you will take sweet rest, and upon waking up, you will find that bitternesses and oppressions have been cast away from you, and I will keep you in my arms with your usual sweetness and serenity, to make the life of my divine will grow more in you."
Then I continued as much as I could my abandonment in the divine fiat, and my sweet Jesus added,
"My daughter, bitternesses, oppressions, and everything that does not regard my will occupy space in your soul, and my divine will does not feel free to be able to extend its light, and with its creative and vivifying virtue, make its life arise in each particle and receptacle of your soul. It feels encircled as though by clouds, such that even though the sun is there, the clouds, putting themselves between the sun and the earth, prevent the solar rays from descending with the fullness of light to give light to the earth. The same for the sun of my divine will. It feels hindered by the clouds of bitternesses and oppressions from extending its light in the depth of the creature, also in the small receptacles, and being able to say, 'Everything gives of my will, everything belongs to me, everything is mine.' And I, your Jesus, who has taken on the commitment to form a soul, all of my will, suffer and remain hindered in my crafting. In fact, you must know that I am the divine administrator of my fiat in the creature, and when I see her disposed to do my will in everything, in each act she does I set to the work of preparation. Suppose that you want to do an act of love. Immediately I get down to work. I place in it my breath. I lay a dose of my love. I embellish it with the variety of the beauty it contains. And then, divine administrator of my will as I am, I administer my divine will upon that act of love, in such a way that in that act one no longer recognizes the act of the creature, but an act of love as if it had come out from the center of my divinity. I am too jealous of the acts that the creature wants to do as animated by my divine will. I do not admit any disparity between her acts and mine, and in order to have this, I must place of my own and my work. And this, in all of her acts. If she wants to do acts of adoration, of prayers, of sacrifice, I place in them my work, so that her adoration may be the echo of the divine adoration, her prayer may be the echo of mine, her sacrifice may be the repeater of mine. In sum, I must find myself in each act of the creature. I, your Jesus, as the owner, possessor of my divine will, would not administrate it if I did not find the sanctity, the purity, the love of my humanity in the act of the creature. Therefore, I want to find her clear of any clouds that might shadow my divine will. Therefore, be attentive, my daughter. Do not hinder my work, which I want to do in your soul.
Fiat.